Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Case's movie review of Home Alone coming up in about 10 minutes at 8 o'clock. But first, let's recap Q101 Twisted Christmas Night 3 with the Smashing Pumpkins, AWOL Nation, and, well, it was supposed to be Bad Flower. We'll get to that story in a second. But, you know, it's funny with hearing the Chili Peppers there, and when Billy was on the show yesterday, that interview's up on the podcast, where he talked about the first show they ever did at the Aragon was opening for the Chili Peppers and Pearl Jam. And we were like, that must have been incredible. Hometown show, you made it, selling out the Aragon. He goes, no one cared. Wasn't that big a deal. As a band, you're so close to it in Chicago, and, you know, worked their way up from playing the Metro and places like the Double Door, which also a tie-in with the Double Door soon, too, in this break. But, yeah, it's funny. He said it wasn't what it meant to be. But I can tell you what, last night was all about Chicago. With the Pumpkins and that set list, it was the best I've ever seen. Our friend Mancow was there. He came up with me and Kenzie to bring on the Pumpkins. It was so fun to have all that, and JVO was there. It was just so, it felt like a homecoming party, even though, you know, we saw them this summer with Green Day at Wrigley Field, which was also, you know, that same thing.
But it was the perfect way to celebrate 30 years of Q101's Twisted Christmas, the Smashing Pumpkins at the Aragon with all of our old friends, all of our new friends. It was just a night that made my cold, black heart very happy.
Oh.
Wow.
It grew 2 times as big.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, what a set list opening with Tonight and finishing with Cherub Rock and Zero, and they played Ziggy Stardust. I'm telling you, and people coming up to me who've seen the Pumpkins a lot and go, Billy looks so happy. Looks so happy. And that was the vibe last night with, I guarantee, an oversold Aragon Ballroom. There were so many people there.
So many people.
I mean, obviously, you know the size of the place, but so getting back to what weird happened yesterday, only moments before the show, really. So Bad Flower was supposed to start. And by the way, AWOL Nation crushed as well. Such a great, unique band. And Bad Flower was supposed to open. We were all excited about that. And then Case was supposed to interview Bad Flower in the day, and you found out something was wrong with the singer rushed to the hospital, I believe.
Yeah, so I was supposed to interview Bad Flower before the show because I interview all the opening bands for Twisted Christmas for a Case 4, which is an interview series I do about upcoming bands. It's on Q101's YouTube channel. And I got a text from somebody in the Bad Flower camp at like 1 o'clock yesterday, and they were like, hey, just so you know, Josh, who's the singer of Bad Flower, Josh is in the hospital right now. He might not be able to do the interview. And I go, that's okay.
I'll meet you there. I'll see you at the
Yeah,
hospital.
we're actually going to bring the cameras there. No
problem.
Case was like, you get his ass up, and you get him over here for the interview.
Nobody wants to work anymore.
So we were playing it by ear all day long. This was, you know, sometimes we make fun of bands. Like the industry term is pulling a Better Than Ezra. When you ask to be on a show and then you cancel the last minute. That's what Better Than Ezra did to us last year. This was not one of those situations. Bad Flower, they've been great on all the Q101 shows they've played in the past. Josh, their singer, was in the hospital yesterday, and they were trying to figure out if he was going to be able to play the show or not. And we found out last minute, we gave them as much time as we could, that they weren't going to be able to. And in a weird twist of fate,
one of the weirdest quick turnarounds I've ever heard of in the history of this radio station.
There just happened to be a band that was going to practice at Carol's Pub last night, and we called them, and Brian, who showed up at the Aragon Ballroom?
Well, legendary actor Dermot Mulroney, whose band is Jackrabbit. They were going to play Carol's Pub just to practice, not even to do a show. And his brothers are in the band. Sean, big tie with Chicago, owns the Double Door that's being rebuilt, the new Double Door. And they said, well, yeah, we'll come over there and we'll play. So they opened up Twisted last night in case you walked in and wasn't sure what the hell was going on.
Because they could not have been more different than Bad Flower.
Now, here's the deal. If you're like, trying to put a face to that, that is the lead in my best friend's wedding opposite Julia Roberts. He's in The Wedding Date. He was Gavin in Friends season 9. Rachel kind of hated him and then started liking him. He's in The Family Stone, which is my favorite Christmas movie. I love that, which is the most star-studded cast there is. Diane Keaton, Sarah Jessica Parker, Rachel McAdams, Luke Wilson, Claire Danes. Insane movie. Fantastic. He's been in Chicago Fire, actually.
Yep.
So, fantastic actor. I hope that helps put a face to it. The problem is, we posted the photo last night, and I went, oh my God, because I thought he died.
Yeah.
And then I read the caption, and I went, oh my God, he's going to be at the Aragon.
Whenever you see a celebrity you love in the post, and all of a sudden you see it everywhere on social, oh my God, what happened? And I want to add something. Kenzie, you listed his resume, basically.
Yes.
But if that didn't hit it for you, He was Dirty Steve in Young Guns in his first movie with Emilio Estevez, Keith Sutherland, Lou Diamond Phillips, Charlie Sheen. What an action-packed cast, and he was one of the first, and that kind of put him on the map. And Dirty Steve, I love Young Guns.
Trust me, there's a lot more because we're already getting texts. Angels in the outfield, must love dogs,
Yeah.
a new girl. I know he's very successful. It's very hard to go through everything.
And much like you, Kenzie, my wife loves My Best Friend's Wedding to death.
Oh,
so
I love it so much.
I had to run an errand, and I was running a little bit late. I go, we're going to be a little late to the Aragon. And I get home, and I see the email from our girl Janine who said the change in the band. And I said, Megan, I want you to stay calm, but Dermot Mulroney is going to be at the Aragon. His band's starting right now. She grabbed me by the throat, said, get your coat on. We're going now. And I must have drove 90 miles an hour down Lawrence to get there just in time to see the band's play. And it was mind-boggling to see a really, really famous actor on stage performing. He played guitar in the band, and the band was really cool. Like I describe it as hard-rocking Irish music.
Yeah.
And the band's called Jackrabbit. So go see them anywhere they're playing. Jackrabbit. Make sure it's the band. You go search.
Well, it's funny because a lot of people bother our boss James during Twisted because he does the booking, makes the artist connection. Like, we have nothing to do with that, right? And so I walk up to him, and I'm sure he's like, oh, okay, like, I'll see if Billy Corgan's willing. I go, no, I want a picture with Dermot. Where is he?
Yeah.
Nobody else. That's what I'm asking to see.
Well, the funny thing is I'm sitting there with my wife, Megan, and all of a sudden, he's right behind her. And I don't know what to do because she's so in love. And I think this would be a guy that she might get a pass with in certain times. Not with me right now.
Oh, was he on the list? Is he on her list?
I think he'd be the only guy on her list if we never discussed a list, but if there was, it'd be him.
You've never discussed a list?
Of like giving a pass
You've
for
got to
it.
have a list, Brian.
Do you have one?
I got a list.
But have you guys
And
talked
you're
about
allowed to? Like, for real?
Yeah, I don't think she's worried about the people on my list. I think I'm aiming a little higher than I should.
it? Who's your number one?
Kristen Bell.
Oh, that's a big one.
Number 2, Olivia Rodrigo. We can keep going down the list.
Is there 3 Sabrina Carpenter?
She's in top
the
5.
list.
Yeah, she's on the list.
Who's on your
the
list,
list.
Kenzie?
I talked about it one time with my husband, and he said no. And I said,
Well, of course
why?
they're going to say no.
And he goes, I go, should we have like those lists? He goes, no. And I go, why? He goes, because I'm not playing that game with you. Because there's a good chance you'll meet them and they'll want to sleep with you.
That's fair.
I'm like, okay.
Strong move.
He goes, I'm going to make a list, and even if I interview them, they're not going to want to sleep with me. He goes, if you interview them, they're going to want to sleep with you. I go, oh, okay.
So we're sitting there, and all of a sudden, Dermot Mulroney comes up right behind my wife, and I go, just be cool. I was all of a sudden Jules in Pulp Fiction. Just be cool. Be cool. And I said, he's right behind you, Dermot Mulroney. She whipped around, almost hit him in the face, and landed in his arms. So if we did have a list, if we discussed it, the pass would have been right there, and I would have been like, all right, go ahead.
That would have been pretty cool.
Do what you want. And he couldn't have been nicer. He took pictures with everybody up on the balcony and just really super engaging in conversation with everybody, too.
I have a picture with him.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Megan got a picture, too. He's just really, really nice guy. And so go see Jackrabbit, that band, anywhere, because they saved the day last night, coming up and opening up for Q101's Twisted Christmas. And we'll keep an eye, of course, on the Double Doors opening with his brother Sean, the new Double Door, I should say, on the north side up in Uptown. All right, so that was Q101's Twisted Christmas, Night 3. Bush tonight, of course, Night 4. And Case's movie review of Home Alone coming up after a band that started off Q101's Twisted Christmas on Night 2, Dexter and the Moonrocks.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Times for some music and entertainment news. Just start off to let you know on Saturday Night Live, Saturday night, it is Chris Rock. Going to be.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, how about that?
I'm learning about this right now. I'm excited.
That's why we do this.
Wow.
I didn't know you didn't know.
I did not know. This is awesome. What else you got in there? What's on that list?
I might just stop right now. Your excitement just took it all up.
I'm so excited.
This one maybe not as exciting, but Brian Austin Green, who was the ex-husband of Megan Fox, and Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly broke up, but she's pregnant. Brian Austin Green, by the way, did you watch Beverly Hills 90210? I know it's an older show, but did you binge it ever? I mean,
I never binged it, but I'm aware of the show.
Oh, it was a great show. Unbelievable show. Case, I'm not even going to get into you with that show. However, that's who Megan Fox was married to, had 3
Yes.
kids with him,
Yes.
and then left him, and then started going with MGK, got another kid coming with him. And Brian Austin Green found out from paparazzi that she was pregnant, and he left some kind of video about talking about saying MGK's probably too immature. Grow up. She's pregnant. Man up. Because he cares about her child, even though it's not his anymore. He cares about her.
Okay,
as an ex-wife.
Hold on. I'm sorry. So you're saying that her ex found out about her pregnancy online.
Yeah, from paparazzi at his house or something like that.
And now is saying MGK needs to grow up?
Yes.
Because he got caught cheating on her recently.
I guess that's what the deal was.
So they were on this is why I want to clarify what you were saying. They were on vacation, a little vacation while she's pregnant. I'm sure
Did you
getting
say
ready.
vacation?
Vacation. Yeah. So they're on that. And Megan Fox went through his phone. She did not divulge what she found, but she then, after going through his phone, decided to leave the vacation, broke up with him, and now says she's focusing on her pregnancy.
So what do you think, as a private investigator, was on that phone?
There's a lot of stuff on that phone. He's got to work on himself. I think he's a huge cheater because they've had their issues before.
Yeah, they almost broke up. They got
They
engaged,
did.
and then they almost got broke up.
And then they did break up. They separated, and
Got
now
back
they've gotten back together because she is a huge advocate for like therapy, mental health. MGK growing up did have like a very traumatic life and
we've
has
heard.
issues like that. I know. Just stay with the story though. I'm not saying anything. So Megan Fox has always been huge on mental health and working on yourself. So I'm sure he blames, things on his trauma, which, has validity, but at a certain point, you are an adult and you need to own your trauma. You can't punish everybody else with your trauma your whole life and use it as a crutch. You need to recognize that you have it and what you're doing with that and then go to therapy or work on that. You can't punish everybody for your trauma always.
I think it's kind of what. Thanks for clarifying all that. 'Cause it's
Yes.
kind of what Brian Austin Green's saying here. As his ex-wife, he still cares about her being pregnant and that baby.
This is his sibling. Now this is the sibling to his children.
Right.
So, and then the stress that his kid's mom's now going through and how that's going to reflect for, as her of a mother to his kids as well. So I get it.
Yeah. Now something a little more fun. Snoop Dogg has a new album dropping, and the track has a sample of Tom Petty's Last Dance with Mary Jane.
Oh.
Amazing song. Also, Jelly Roll on that. So you want to hear a little bit of it?
Oh, I know. Case does.
Case,
He loves Jelly Roll.
Oh, Jelly Roll Machine Gun Kelly. This is my
Yeah.
entertainment
I
segment.
don't want today's show to turn into Case hates
No,
everything.
because I love a lot of things.
He does, I'm trying to
None
defend.
of what we're doing.
No,
Clearly.
this last half hour has been tough with Home Alone, MGK, and Jelly Roll. Not exactly my holy trinity.
And Kenzie, before the show, I said, I'm going to play this just to annoy him, but I didn't realize the Home Alone review was going to be that negative.
No, we thought you would like Home Alone.
Yeah, I thought he was just I cried. I thought he was going to
Can
say.
I bring? I think what I think will make you happy
What's
about
that, Kenzie?
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
Do you know who he's married to?
No.
London Tipton.
Oh, Brenda Song?
Yes.
My man.
See, now you're a little happier.
All
Better.
right.
Case is happy again. Let's move. I knew that would help.
No one's ever said, my man, about Kevin McAllister, ever.
When they find out he's married to Brenda Song,
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brenda
Yeah.
Song, bringing it.
Yes.
Okay, so this might annoy Case, but you might enjoy it, so I care more about you, the people, than Case at this point. Here's the song. So Snoop Dogg, but I like it. This is a pretty cool groove and a pretty cool remix of Last Dance with Mary Jane with Jelly Roll, and of course, Snoop's album drops next week. I dig that. Okay, here comes Jelly Roll.
I was gonna say, where is he?
He's coming in right now.
Oh, harmonica.
I love that remix of the Tom Petty song. Face is fuming over there. What do you think of that, Case?
I just can't help but think about the fact. Does it bum you out that he's named after your favorite kind of donut? Because you don't like him.
I have a question.
Yep.
Who's that for? Who's going, oh, man, Snoop, Jelly, and Tom Petty are on the same track? I got to hear that.
I was grooving on it.
Oh, my
So you know what?
God.
To answer your question, it was for me.
I have said this to Brian and Kenzie many times. I don't understand how in an era where no one is famous because everybody is famous, somehow Jelly Roll is the guy that slipped through the cracks and we can't get rid of him. He's everywhere. And
Well,
I
he
would
has
love to
talent.
I would love to not see him ever again.
Yeah, just, super talented guy. Came out of jail.
I've heard a story.
You know the story?
Oh, yeah.
Are you sure you know? It's
no, it's just like
inspirational.
Machine Gun Kelly. Yeah, no, it's been through a
Inspirational.
lot. Absolutely.
Yeah. Boy, Case is really going to come off today as such a big hater.
Hey, do you think Snoop Dogg likes weed?
Is he supposed to hate on that? It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. There's your music entertainment news for Friday.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Lauren coming in, take you through this cold Friday and getting us right up to Q101 Twisted Christmas Night 4 with Bush. We'll see you there tonight. And the Case, what do you got for takeaways from the week so far?
Maddie from Lombard checked in. Her takeaway, one word, bazinga. Love that show. Love it.
Love it.
No.
Kenzie, what do you got for a takeaway?
Takeaway from Derek. He said, takeaway. I'm still dangling from that cliffhanger. Do you think Snoop Dogg likes weed?
We'll give you the answer at 6:20 on Monday morning.
I'm actually investigating it over this weekend.
Make sure you put that one in your phone for Monday morning. We'll have that unique answer for you there. And finally, takeaway from Megan checking in from the 214. Takeaway. Billy Corgan didn't deny calling Brian a bozo.
Hello, bozo.
What a show last night. Incredible. And Case, what's on the podcast today?
Well, we've got my controversial yet accurate review of the movie Home Alone. If you missed that at 8 o'clock, that lives on the Brian and Kenzie podcast. If you want to hear Kenzie lose her mind, go to the 7 a.m. podcast when she learned it was only 7:30 and she thought it was like 9:20. One of my favorite moments of the entire year happened this morning at 7:30.
I was packing up.
It has been that kind of day on the Brian and Kenzie show. All of that lives on the Brian and Kenzie podcast. Spend some time with us this weekend.
Oh, boy. Tomorrow morning, remember, 8 to 10, it's throwbacks, the funniest moments of the week. That also ends up on a lot of all the podcasts of the full shows, but these are some of the funniest moments. And, of course, go to Spotify, Apple for that podcast, or the Q101 app, newly redesigned.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.